Valentina de Leon grew up in the island of Puerto Rico. She never knew her father, and her mother mysteriously disappeared years ago. But Valentina was always a curious one. You see, ever since she was a little girl, she always had an interest in the supernatural, in the unknown. Life's mysteries always fascinated her. Her mother and her grandmother before her were believers of Spiritism, a religion dedicated to the relationship between corporeal beings and humans. Valentina was always a skeptic, but the subjects of the unknown always fascinated her. It wasn't until she came across a traveler from America that she started formally studying. Harold Black. He claimed to be a researcher of life's mysteries. He was currently traveling to Louisiana for a job, but had stopped to resupply in San Juan. In the meantime, he decided to take Valentina under his wing. He taught her everything, from archaeology to biology to chemistry and more.
Interesting. So you wish to learn the unknown, young one?
Yes, senor. Please, teach me everything.
It's not going to be easy. One could live a full life and barely scratch the surface of life's mysteries.
I don't care. I want to learn it all.
He soon left for Louisiana, but Valentina kept up with her studies. Not too soon after, Harold came back for her. She was old enough to learn the truth.
I work for a group called the American Hunters Association. They hire hunters to go take down terrible creatures. I was invited to study the creatures and their origins, and I've come to recruit you to the cause. You see, I can't do this alone, my dear. I need your help.
No, there's no way. You sound like mommy. You're loco.
I know it's crazier than the usual stuff I write to you about, but it's real. Come with me. If you still don't believe me after what you see, you may return home. I'll cover all the expenses.
That's enough, Professor. This joke is not very funny. I need some fresh air. Excuse me.
Valentina could not believe this, but to say that she was not curious and excited would be a lie. It did not take her long to agree. She packed up, and they sailed to America. Upon arriving in Louisiana, Harold did not waste any time and took her on a hunting trip. Valentina knew her way with a 6-shooter after growing up alone, having to fend for herself. They descended into the bayou and arrived at a deserted ranch. That's when she heard the gut-wrenching growls, guttural, ear-piercing screams, something like she never heard before. Something only a monster could produce. That's when they spotted it. A man on his knees, eating something on the ground. But not just something. Someone. Valentina slowly approached the man. But this wasn't just the man. Open wounds all over his body. Black liquid dripped from his wounds. Very pale flesh covered in dirt and blood. The man lunged forward, groaning incoherently. Valentina's heart sank. This was no man. It was a monster. She was paralyzed by fear, but her survival instinct kicked in. That's when she lifted the gun, and right before the creature could get to her, she fired. The creature fell over dead. Blood everywhere.
Do you understand the importance of my research now, lass? There's a sickness out there, and only we can put an end to it. I need your help.
I do. I do understand now. I will help you.
A few years passed, and Valentina became a full-fledged hunter, capable of hunting down any creature that popped up in the bayou. but her research was her ultimate goal. She slowly learned the plague wasn't of this world. These creatures were being manufactured. They weren't of our world. She conducted more research with the power of Darkseid. We could see beyond our world into theirs. Could we not push farther and find the one behind all of this and end it once and for all?
I can sense him. I can almost smell him. He's there. I know it. He calls to me. I will find a way to get to him. And once I do, I will end the suffering he's caused.
It was during a fateful day of hunting that she made her biggest breakthrough. She came across a single creature in the fields. It was then that she noticed a glimmer, almost like a sparkle in the wind. She decided to use Darkseid, and that's when she saw it. The creature's soul, the human he used to be, calling out for help. His soul being dragged into some sort of darkness. She found it, a link between our world and theirs. But before she could do anything, his soul was forcefully dragged away, and the darkness disappeared. That's when the creature stopped crying, started growling, and charged at her. She quickly put a few rounds in it, and put it out of its misery. But this was good news. She finally found the clue that she needed.
See, I finally found it. I can work with this. I can finally put an end to this madness. We're closer. I mean, we're closer to the sculptor than ever.